Welcome to the exciting and new podcast. This is a mini. I'm Jason.
I'm Andy.
And I'm Ryan.
Guest starring Mac.
There he is.
We're going to get into
Mac Attack.
I know we started talking about it already, but we can talk about it now. The 90s show on
That 90s show.
Netflix.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm giving it a thumbs down, but you can give it a thumbs up.
I enjoyed it. It had nice little nostalgia. The episodes are only 22 minutes long. If you like that 70s show, I said give it a shot. It's fun.
Here's what I'll say is my biggest problem with it. Except for the main...
He has a problem with everything.
Yeah, I have a problem with everything. Well, I don't just throw praise at everything.
But I don't think that was really great praise that I gave it.
Except for the main girl, Leia, and her best
Princess?
friend, the one that lives. Well, she's named after the
Can you
princess,
get it?
for sure.
Oh.
Eric got her to Donna to let him.
Yeah, because he's like
Leia.
he teaches a class
He
in
does
college
teach
about
a
the
college.
history of Star Wars.
It's like
or
a
something.
religion.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So there's a background
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah.
So she is very good, and her friend across the street that she first finds is very good.
Gwen, she's fun.
Yeah. All the other kid characters are fucking terrible. They are awful, awful characters.
I will agree with you
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So it's not Kelso. It's not Jackie. It's not Hyde. It's not Wilder Valderrama. Fez. It's not fun characters like
But then
that.
you do get Fez.
Shitty
Fez is
ass
there.
young characters, and they all suck. So I'm like, why am I following these characters? I don't like them. They should have had
He didn't
Topher
really-
Grace.
he
But
didn't
they have the old characters, right?
Only in cameos
For the Gen Xers.
Only cameos coming and going. The parents, Red and
He
Kitty.
watched 2 episodes, so don't let him tell you that that's the only cameos that come in.
Okay,
They're in there
terrible.
a few times.
I watched,
But then they'll probably disappear,
there's
and
a
then the
few
series
cameos.
will
liked it.
continue
Right,
with
thank
the
you.
millennial. Well, it can't be millennials because it's the '90s.
I think
show.
it's
yeah, they're
Andy's,
not.
actors are
they're,
millennials.
Andy's looking at it like it was made for him, too. It's not made for you.
Yeah, it's not made for me.
You know what I mean?
It's not for anybody in our age group, but the 70s show was. I don't know who it's made for. The young people won't enjoy it because they don't even get the jokes. And also, the other problem I had with it, their house did not look very 90s. It almost looked like early 80s. I was like, so I guess you could say they haven't updated in a while.
Yeah, they didn't
but-
remodel.
Because the basement was still the way they left
Yeah,
it. Because
which
it
is
had all
fine.
the posters and everything.
That's
down there.
fine because
They
they
still
didn't care
did
about the
the,
basement.
They
but-
probably
still
wanted
did
to have
sit around the-
familiarity too.
To sit around the table smoking weed thing.
Yeah,
they still did that. too,
that
which
was
is
fine. I like that. That was
That was
always, that's
fun.
always good. Sitting around smoking weed thing. And I saw Tommy Chong in the one episode.
Tommy
That
Chong was in
no
more than
shit.
one episode. I
Okay.
think he was in 3.
Oh,
and
excellent!
he was
Yeah.
great in it.
He was fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I love
He was
Tommy
him
Chong.
and
he's a
Leia
favorite of
toge-
mine. Now all they have to
Tommy
do is
Chong
bring
and
Mike
Leia together
Tyson.
were really. He's 85 years old too.
Yeah, he didn't need a
85.
cane.
Yeah,
Wow.
he's up there. Yeah.
All right.
Red
Really?
needed a cane. And he
Red
was,
had a
what,
cane
82?
throughout a few of the episodes. He's up there in age as well.
But I wonder why he didn't have a cane the whole time, unless there was part of the script that required.
I think
him
it was
to
just
have
sometimes he's.
He
I
did
think,
get hit by a bike, and he had the cane ever since he got hit by the bike.
in the show, he got hit by a bike. Okay, I
Yeah.
didn't see that.
So
part.
maybe
Okay.
they worked it in that way.
All right.
True, it could have been maybe they hid it for the first few episodes and then
Yeah,
he had
after
the
a
accident.
week or two of filming, and he's like, "Listen, I need
I
to
can't
use my
not use
cane."
it. Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Did you watch anything this week? Fun
That
or
90s
new?
show he watched.
Besides that,
I finally watched Clerks 3.
nice.
Oh,
Yeah, I watched that
I
as well.
didn't.
I've seen that, so that's a lot of
I
fun.
haven't yet.
What did you think of Clerks 3?
I liked it, but it was sad.
It's
was
very
very
sad.
sad, yeah.
It's not a fun movie.
That's,
No.
that's what we're saying. We didn't want to like spoil it, but
Yeah.
I mean, but
it's been
I guess
out
we
for a
did
while.
him,
It's
but-
been out for a while
Yeah.
now. I mean,
Yeah.
But you guys did not spoil it at all because everything in it I was surprised
Yeah,
at.
no,
It was
it's
really good,
and I don't
I
want to
thought.
spoil it too much for people that haven't seen it because I think it deserves to be watched.
Well,
It
don't
does,
hold
yeah,
back
give it-
because of me, because
No, well,
this
give
is
it a
beyond the
watch anyway.
statute of limitations.
Yeah, no,
so.
it's for the three
There's
people.
not really
that
much
listen-
more for us to talk about it
the,
anyway.
the
yeah.
three people listen to this podcast. I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to say anything to them that. But
And
I think it should be
and I
watched.
think Dana said she hated Clerks too. So
Oh, I like Clerks
Yeah.
too.
I
Yeah,
like
me
Clerks
too.
too.
We were arguing the other day, Michelle and me, about the
Kevin, what do you
ranking,
think about Clerks? That's for
for our Canadian Kevin?
who's coming on soon to do Smokey and the Bandit.
Nice. That's next week, maybe. Anyway, Clerks. Michelle and I were arguing driving home the other day about the order of the View Askew movies, like which
All of
ones?
them?
Yeah, like the
Okay.
whole thing from Clerks 1 to Clerks 3. Cause,
Okay.
yeah, she puts movies that I'm not as big a fan.
What does she
of.
have up there that you don't like?
Well, I like Chasing Amy. I don't love Chasing Amy, and she has that in like highest regard.
Well, I think we all put Mallrats as our
Mallrats.
Yeah, I love
as our
Mallrats.
one with Clerks. Mallrats Clerks for me is how it goes to 1, 2.
The shit pump.
I would reverse it.
Or shit palm.
Clerks,
Was that
Mallrats.
The stink palm.
Yeah, stink palm. That was it.
But like the Chasing Amy has funny scenes. Like,
Chasing
obviously,
Amy has
the
some
first
funny scenes,
the
but
first 10 minutes are
There's
hilarious.
some parts
but
in the middle that were very
draggy and just like, oh, we're doing a romantic comedy now. Meh. And Ben Affleck has such a punchable face in that. I mean, he
has a punchable face in Mallrats, too.
There's nothing that Ben Affleck.
Oh, he was the
doesn't
best
do
in
that
Mallrats.
Oh yeah,
You want to beat the shit out of
Shannon
him.
Hamilton.
The Guido piece of shit. Yeah.
Who wants to have sex in a very uncomfortable place?
What, like the backseat of a Volkswagen?
Oh, that'd be good if we had a producer who did that.
we get the sad sound instead.
Hitting all the buttons. Oh my god, we got that
Halloween 3.
Halloween 3 music.
I always hit that
Oh
button.
no, that's going to be in my head for the next 2 weeks
Halloween,
now.
Halloween, happy Halloween, Silver Shamrock.
This is a professional operation we're trying to run here. What are you doing?
I forgot.
Oh, what is he doing? That it turned off.
I found out where the rim shot was.
I bet you thought you found out where your rim was.
The rim job.
I gotta wait for that to stop.
Mr. Mack, have you seen anything fun or new in the last couple of weeks since we've seen you last?
Yeah, well, I'm a little bit late to the podcast, so to speak, but I've been watching The Last of Us.
Oh, you're not that late.
No, well, you told me you already dropped it.
It's only like 3 episodes.
Yeah,
Yeah, but you guys already talked about it, and I didn't hear it. So
it is a great show.
I'm not watching. So
yeah, I'm impressed with it, but my kids are not because
really?
they played the video game.
Well, that's one of the
Yeah.
problems that you know it's going to happen. But I
Yeah.
mean, that's like
And they're already bitching about how it's not quite following directly to the storyline. Yeah.
I mean, like watching or playing the video game and then watching the show is similar to like reading the book before watching the movie. Like, I don't know, you can still enjoy it for what it is. I think.
That's what I try and tell them. But it was surprising to me. I'm so used to the zombie formula that when they start shooting those cauliflower heads in the head, I'm like, he's not dying.
Just
I'm like,
coming at
oh
him,
wait,
yeah.
that's because they're freaking fungus. You know, I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I
it was a
very
nice
much
twist.
enjoyed these first 2 episodes. I can't wait for more.
But it follows along the same lines as The Mandalorian to me.
Totally,
Yeah.
It's The Mandalorian meets Walking Dead. Really, I mean,
Yeah,
it's like
it is because he's taking care of. I can't really get behind her. I wouldn't mind if she died.
She's
But
Lady Mormont from Game of Thrones.
Is she?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't pick up
She
on
was
that.
Later day.
Isn't that funny? Because
Game of
he's
Thrones.
from Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He's
also.
the Viper. Yeah, from
Yeah,
Game of
he
Thrones,
was the
that's
one
right.
who got killed by the mountain.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
He should have won that fight.
He should have
did
just
win that fight.
He
Why-
did win
he got
that
caught.
fight.
Why did he
Yeah.
just stab him? He was
Yeah.
prancing around. Just kill him.
Yeah.
Just kill him.
And he deserved to have his eyes pushed in.
Good
Yeah.
Lord,
Skull.
man. Just kill him. Has your family been watching Last of Us?
Yeah, that's probably why I'll continue watching it. Like I liked it, but it wasn't anything I probably would continue to watch.
Interesting.
But since it's dropping every Sunday night and everyone else is going to watch it, I'll probably join them.
Yeah, that's how I got into it as my wife started watching it. So I was with her. I'm like, yes, dear. Okay, I'll watch it.
And once the
then
Eagles
I
lose this
enjoyed
week,
it.
your wife won't have anything to watch.
That's true.
on Sundays, so she won't have to give up The Last of Us.
Yeah, you're locked in, buddy.
The only other thing I have that I watched this week, because I had Last of Us actually on my thing because I just wanted to get the update that it's still awesome. I finished Kaleidoscope. That is, I couldn't give it a bigger thumbs down.
I don't get why it was so. Ooh, you're watching it this way. This person's watching it that way. There was no real.
No. So the Kaleidoscope is on.
It was very
Netflix, and it is a heist movie, a heist show. 8 episodes or 9 episodes, and the only person that you would know in it is Gus from Breaking Bad. He's like the main guy.
He's on like everything.
Yeah, well now he's cashing in, but
good for him.
He's the
And
only
he's
one
good in everything.
and he's
That's
the
the
only one you
problem.
would know, and he's the only one that's good in it because all the other actors just suck ass.
Actually,
But-
I had a problem with some of his acting in it.
okay, but I don't even want to get into it. Like it's one of these things
But
where
he's so good. I don't want to say anything.
they
Was you like
presented-
phoning it in a
I
way,
just thought
collecting the paycheck?
I had a problem with. It was actually more the script because there was times where he should have been shaking and he
Oh,
wasn't.
because they established very early on he has Parkinson's.
Oh, okay.
But the premise of the thing is
But then it was like all of a sudden he gets real busy because he's doing something.
well,
with his
as soon as he
hands,
needs
and
to
that's
do as soon as he needs to do something, his Parkinson's comes in. But the premise of it was that you could watch it in any order. like they're colors. They're not numbers. It's not episode 1,
And it
2,
was
3,
even
4.
set up where
it's red,
if I
blue,
logged onto
green.
my Netflix and Andy logged onto his Netflix, it was in a different order
Yeah.
already.
So hence the name Kaleidoscope.
Yeah,
I
but
guess.
it doesn't like because they said the only one you had to
Everybody's
watch,
last episode was white.
White's the actual heist, so that you had to watch last. But man,
You could have watched it first.
it didn't matter because there were 2 episodes that took place after the heist, and they basically told you who lived, who died, and what the consequences were. I thought it was very poorly done, and
It could have been so much better.
I think what the problem was, it wasn't actually that interesting. So they did that whole thing to say, "Oh, you can watch it in any order," because then that brought.
Also,
interest to
you know
it.
what else? Glass Onion came out, which was fucking awesome.
Yeah, Glass
Well, it
Onion.
seems
this
like
one
a
is
neat
big.
concept, but the execution was
Yeah,
poor.
it was just not a good story. It wasn't a
It
good
had
story.
the right idea. It didn't land it.
And the problem with it, any kind of thing that does that, you can't go back and watch it in a different order and not know what you already know.
And
So you
it's-
can't be like, "Oh, I'm going to watch it in a completely
But the
different
thing is,
order."
like,
So
it's like, and it
doesn't
tells
really
it says,
matter.
okay, you watch this, and there's like millions of different consequences or different
ways you can go from red to purple to green or green to purple to yellow.
But the
then
outcome is still the same.
But
still
the
the-
outcome is still the
and
same.
none of it
and
matters.
It's just
So
like
it's like an M. Night Shyamalan movie. So if you watch it once,
Well,
it's
his
like,
next-
okay, you got the twist at the end. It's like, well, I can't watch that fucking movie again because
his next one does look interesting though.
Oh, the knock at the door or whatever.
Yeah, Knock at the Cabin, I think it's
That looks
called or
good.
something like that. And Bautista's in it. That dude, that big dude.
Dave Bautista.
Dave Bautista.
He's a monster. Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, you lost me still.
It's not, no.
Yeah, you know, I'm not in
The
No,
wrestler Dave Bautista.
Not really.
Dune, not Dune.
Oh, wait, I
yeah,
think
he's
I
in
know who
Dune.
you're
He's in
talking
Dune,
about.
and he's in Blade Runner
He's in
2049.
Glass Onion.
Yeah, he's that big bald guy.
Yeah,
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Who actually in Glass Onion, he's bald and he's got those ridges in his head. I'm like,
Yeah,
that looks
okay.
uncomfortable. Like, what's going on
Like
with
it
his
hurts.
head there? Ooh.
Cauliflower
It looks like
head.
he's like all cut up there, but I think it's just his head
Yeah, I think it's
forming
just-
around
it
his
It's a
skull.
Shar-Pei head, like a Shar-Pei dog.
The only other thing I have is I watched the Elvis movie finally with Austin Butler.
Austin, yeah.
Good, not great. I mean,
It was fun.
It
I had
was
a good time
fun.
with
it was
Fat
fine.
Elvis. We needed more fat Elvis.
We needed more fat Elvis, and they also yada over a lot of his life. I felt there was
Yada
just like,
yada over a lot of the drugs and a lot of the
Well,
food.
That's
and
the
all
best part of
and
it.
it's funny because at one point Michelle said to me, she's like, "Didn't he die of a drug overdose?" She's like, "It's like 1970. They haven't not even brought that up." And then like as soon as she said that,
Yeah.
they were shooting him up because his doctor's Dr. Nick. Hey, hi everybody. Like, which is where the Simpsons got Dr. Nick from, because it's just, every time he said it, he's like, tell the colonel to send up Dr. Nick. I'm like, hi, everybody.
Oh, that's great. I never knew that.
The guy that played Colonel Tom is Tom Hanks. No, wait, Colonel Tom?
Colonel Parker.
Colonel Tom Parker, right? Colonel. Well, anyway, they call him Colonel, the whole time. But it's Tom Hanks. And listen, I love Tom Hanks, but it felt a little like
He tried too hard.
it was almost like he's got an accent. He's Dutch, so he's talking like this all the time. And it's like no one knows that Colonel Parker has an accent. He should have just played it like Tom Hanks. I thought it was trying too hard to be like Elvis. I'm telling you now, you're going to go play now. It's
He
like
was almost, yeah, it was
Really?
he was almost cartoonish.
Oh, okay.
very cartoonish.
And that was Indian.
What I just did was Indian. Oh, that was my best Dutch. I
Said more
I
Apu.
wasn't trying to be offensive to any Indians. I was trying to be offensive to Dutch people.
We have a big Indian audience.
I'm sorry to all my
right.
Indian friends.
Right.
Well, they
Yeah.
might have liked that.
I don't think Indian people like having their language mocked,
Well,
their
you were-
accents mocked.
You were mocking the Dutch.
I was. I have no problem mocking them.
Yeah, there's not many of them.
They're all going to be
Wait,
drowned
you
in like
might
10
have
months.
one Dutch fan out there.
Yeah, I'll have to check.
Call me Dutchy. That's it. That's all I've
Pass
watched
the
this week.
Dutchie.
Pass the Dutchy. Anybody else watch anything
I've been
fun?
watching Yellow Jackets again, which season 2 comes out March 24th. So if you haven't watched season 1 of Yellow Jackets, I'm on episode 9
Watch
of
it,
season
Brian.
1. It is so good.
Are you rewatching?
It's a rewatch. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Have you watched?
I watched the first 4 episodes.
Why would you stop?
Because I stopped paying for. Oh, excuse me.
I added.
Showtime.
I paid $3 extra for Showtime on Hulu. Get it?
Don't you have ways of seeing things without paying
Yeah,
for
he
them?
does. He
Yeah,
downloads
but
shit all
I
the
just
time.
have to. Be
Brian,
motivated.
Put the
Where do you
effort in.
guys find all the free time to watch all
Brian,
this shit?
it's 58 minutes.
We
Knock
don't
it off.
spend 7 hours a day in the gym.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, I
Watch one of these shows while you're working out.
You should.
But
As you're on the
anyway,
treadmill. You're not on the treadmill.
anyway,
No, fuck cardio.
And if
No
you're not
cardio.
watching Yellow Jackets while you're working out, maybe listen to the exciting new podcast because you can find us anywhere. Spreaker.
That I could
Anywhere
do.
you get your podcasts. Apple, Spotify, all those good places. Google. And it's The Jazoo on Instagram. Jazoo74 on Twitter. I'm Jason.
AE Gonzo 1 on Twitter. AE Gonzo 1970 on Instagram. I'm Andy.
And I'm Brian, Papa Bad Kitty.
I'm just Brian Mack, and you can find me everywhere and nowhere. So
It's the exciting new podcast.
His picture's hanging up in post offices everywhere. Keep an eye out for him.
I'm at large.
Word.
Word.